빛내세 자유천이고 숭고한 하늘 빛깔 순결의 백합 상하고 빛난 정신 이어가도다 오대양 육대주 천주까지도 억만세 태평성대 길이 빛내세 평화천이고 순정의 기쁨이 땅 천년한 날에 영생의 이상향을 나타내도다 고대양 육대주 천주까지도 억만세 태평성대 길이 빛내세 통일천이고 사계절 휘날리는 천일국 깃발 천진 천부모님 소망하도다 고대양 육대주 천주까지도 억만세 태평성대 길이 빛내세 행복천이고
Today is the 28th day of the 6th month in the 9th year of Channel Group, August 6, 2021. To begin our day, let's offer our respect and gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind. 현진 참부모님께 경배 바로 let us recite Family Pledge. Number 1. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to seek our original homeland and build the kingdom of Heavenly Parent on earth and in heaven, the original ideal of creation, by centering on true love. 2. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the Heavenly Parent and true parents. We pledge to perfect the beautiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love. 3. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. 4. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to build the universal family encompassing heaven and earth, which is Heavenly Parent's ideal of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. 5. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. 6. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the Heavenly Parent and true parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. 7. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges through living for the sake of others to perfect a world based on the culture of heart, which is rooted in the original lineage by centering on true love. 8. Our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges, having entered the era of Channel Group, to achieve the ideal of Heavenly Parent and human beings united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of Heavenly Parent on earth and in heaven by centering on true love.
To lead us on the opening prayer, I would like to invite the presence of the National Director of the Education Department, Engineer Ariel Rialin.
Good morning, dear leaders, elders, brothers, and sisters. Please join me in prayer. Our dearest, loving Heavenly Parent and victorious true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Heavenly Parent, we come before you this morning with our grateful hearts, Heavenly Parent, for giving us this new day, this new life, and come before you to attend to you and listen and understand and study your words, Heavenly Parent. We would like to express our deepest gratitude for allowing us to exist in this world and for allowing us to experience your creation day by day, especially this new morning, Heavenly Parent. We receive new life as brand new life, Heavenly Parent. Heavenly Parent, you have invested so much and worked so hard in order to create this world for millions and millions of years, yearning for your children, we human beings, to be your object of joy, your perfect object of joy, Heavenly Parent. And at long last, you have created Adam and Eve as your firstborn son and daughter. However, because of the fall, evil emerged and Adam and Eve fell and died and left you and created hell in this world. And you have raised up the nation of Israel to send the Messiah, our Lord Jesus Christ, in order to save us. But because of the failure of the Israelites to believe in our Lord Jesus Christ, the providence was prolonged and our Lord Jesus Christ was rejected, suffered, and died on the cross. How agonized you have, how anguish you have felt, Heavenly Parent. How anguish, how difficult and painful is your heart, Heavenly Parent, when our Lord Jesus Christ was crucified and shed blood on the cross, and you have waited for thousands of years again in order to see your children, Heavenly Parent, restored and resurrected and liberated from agony of hell. Heavenly Parent, the problem is not because there was nobody who believed in you or knew you, Heavenly Parent. The grief of heaven and earth is because there was nobody who could relate with you in heart. Heavenly Parent, we are truly grateful for allowing us to have met our beloved true parents. Thank you so much for that amazing grace and true love for us, Heavenly Parent, as fallen people, that to our true parents we could be able to receive rebirth and be able to receive the truth and the principle, Heavenly Parent, that you have given to us. Our true parents paid tremendous sacrifice in order for us to be able to receive your true love, true life, and true lineage. And Heavenly Parent, we know that from the day we were born with fallen lineage, there's not been a day wherein you have been attended by all humankind with true heart and with full heart, Heavenly Parent. And so now, before you once again, we are truly grateful and we offer ourselves as your sons and daughters representing this nation to attend to you, commune with you, Heavenly Parent, and to receive your words. We would like to invite your holy presence to be with us, and may we could be able to unite our mind and body centering on you, unite our spirit and flesh centering on you, so that we could be able to understand and be able to digest and be able to practice your words in our life. Heavenly Parent, we are truly grateful and would like to invite your your presence to dwell into the heart and mind of our national leader. Please use him, our national leader, Reverend Leo Angelo Halog. Thank you so much for giving us such a wonderful and hardworking leader. We hope that we could really be able to bring victory to you in this nation, to support our beloved true mother. We pray that we could really succeed in creating a nation and building a nation of children book by the year 2027 and contribute for the restoration of one-third of the world population. Heavenly Parent, we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for your love, your guidance, and inspiration that you have given us, that you are giving us day by day, Heavenly Parent. Thank you so much for everything, Heavenly Parent. Please be with us, and we would like to humbly offer this prayer on behalf of our brothers and sisters. I report this in our names, Ariel and Donna Really, Blessed Central Family. June.
Thank you so much, Father Ariel, for your very deep, emotional, and wonderful prayer. Let us offer unison prayer. Ju, let's have morning greetings for our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Good morning, Heavenly Parent and true parents. Good morning, our leaders, brothers, and sisters. And for those joining in the center, you may now take your seat. And welcome to our national morning devotion brought to you by Heavenly Parent Holy Community and the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification Philippines. And to render us Hundok reading excerpt from the Mother of Peace, I would like to invite the presence of the HTM Secretary from Quezon City, Ms. Jennifer Wasito.
Good morning, Heavenly Parents and true parents. Good morning, brothers and sisters. So our reading is taken from the Mother of Peace, a memoir by our beloved true mother, Hak Jahan. Chapter 8, The Mother Builds the Family Builds the World. Continuation. Koreans often pray for Chungbok, which means living in happy contentment, even without possessions or power. Health is most important for our happiness. We have a saying, if you lose your possessions, you have lost little. If you lose your reputation, you have lost a lot. But if you lose your health, you have lost everything. Taking these words very seriously, I have long pondered over the secret of good health. It is not easy for anyone to live their entire life without ever getting sick. During my early life, I saw many people suffering from malnutrition or or whose lives were broken by injury or disease. At age 16, When I entered St. Joseph Nursing School, I felt joy and pride, knowing I had found exactly what I needed to do. However, in taking on the mission of the Mother of Peace, I had no choice but to put that vocation aside. While traveling around the world, I saw many children who could have become healthy if they had better care. Some lost their sight, some had limbs amputated because they could not be treated on time. This pain remains as a deep knot in my heart. I want to be the mother who can embrace all people who are ill, physically and spiritually. When we endure a tooth, we feel the pain throughout our entire body. As the mother of one family under God, I feel the pain of each person as my own pain. Having fallen ill myself in countries not my own, I know what it means to be a foreigner in need of medical care. Thus, it was with great joy and satisfaction that Father Moon and I decided to realize the dream I had when I attended nursing school. We established an international hospital in Korea where all people can receive expert spiritual and physical care and feel a mother's touch. When we get sick, from the depth of our hearts, we yearn for a mother's warm touch. However, our mother is not always near us. To provide a mother's touch, after receiving permission to build in 1999, we opened the Chongshim International Medical Center, now called the HJ Magnolia International Medical Center in 2003. It overlooks Chungpyung Lake, where the waters are clear and the mountains are beautiful. The medical center is not a typical hospital. Beyond providing excellent medical treatments, we focus on the true meaning of health. Health does not simply mean having a sturdy body. An original human being has mind and body united in harmony. Thus, unification medical science is based on the principles of truth and the spirit of love. The H.J. Magnolia International Medical Center is the first facility to develop and implement this new model. Doctors and nurses from various nations take care of patients with a motherly heart in the midst of beautiful natural surroundings, which are heaven's gift. They are answering a question that has been neglected until now. Does faith in God truly enhance our health? The answer to this question is not difficult. For good health, the harmony of our mind and body is an important agent of healing, and faith is what allows us to realize that harmony. The H.J. Magnolia International Medical Center not only uses state-of-the-art medical techniques, but it is also the first full-scale hospital to integrate spiritual healing in the prevention and treatment of disease. Behind this are my prayers for the physical and spiritual salvation of all people so that none may be orphans. We must take care of our health when we are healthy. Most of the time, we tend to ignore that simple fact. In our busy lives, we can easily forget to take care of our mind and body. God gave us the blessing to be fruitful. That means to have spiritual, psychological, and physical health. The mission of HJ Magnolia International Medical Center is to enable people to achieve that joy. Every year, a team from the HJ Magnolia International Medical Center, together with volunteers from various walks of life, offers medical services in Southeast Asia and Africa. In these countries, many people despair for lack of medical treatment. Lack of medication sometimes leads to amputation, blindness, or even the loss of life. My husband and I established the HJ Magnolia Global Medical Foundation in the hope of relieving some of this suffering. Its purpose is to serve as a foundation for humankind to achieve total health, to provide everything from voluntary medical services in impoverished areas to enlighten us to the cause of disease and the path of true health. Women unite religions in the Middle East. In 1969, on our first world tour together, my husband and I visited Israel. The day we arrived was extremely hot. Israel is a small country, one-fifth the size of South Korea. It did not take us so long to visit all the sites mentioned in the Bible. As we toured, we reflected on why the history of this area, which seemed to us so peaceful, has always been rife with disputes, conflicts, and terrorism. The Middle East includes the Holy Land, where Jesus was born 2,000 years ago. It has been the home of eminent peoples whose flourishing civilizations led global culture. Today, however, it is marred by the bitterness of religious conflict, with terrorist attacks sometimes taking the lives of innocent people. Trusting God for our safety, our Women's Federation for World Peace dove into the heart of the Middle East to build peace through reconciliation and love. From the late 1960s, unification men and women missionaries from Europe went out to countries in the Middle East, including Turkey, Jordan, Iran, and Lebanon. Some were arrested and some were deported, but others found ways to stay. Even so, those who entered Islamic countries that strictly forbade other faiths to proselytize risked incarceration, beatings, or worse from the authorities. Despite this, through the dedication, teaching, and service of our members, the local people came to understand them and gradually opened the doors to their hearts. By the mid-1980s, these missionaries brought eminent Muslim clergy to our Assembly of the World's Religions and Council for the World's Religions conferences, and these clergy in turn brought Muslim citizens from the Middle East and North America, sometimes hundreds at a time, to attend 40-day Divine Principle workshops in New York in the early 1990s. Beginning in 1992, Islamic couples who were moved by the teachings of the principle gratefully received the marriage blessing. True.
Joe, if you have received it, let's give a virtual round of applause for our Heavenly Parent and true parents. And let's also give a virtual round of applause for Miss Jennifer Pasito. And we have come to learn that our life of faith must always begin through appreciation. And through appreciation, it can kill any sickness, cancer, or it can overcome any difficulties. To share to us her 10 points of gratitude, I would like to invite the presence of our National Education Secretary, Ms. Marivic Advincula.
Good morning, Heavenly Parent and friends. Good morning to our leaders, elders, brothers and sisters. My grateful things. First, I am so grateful for Heavenly Parent and true parents for every blessings that we receive every day. Next, for the good health of our true mother. I am grateful for our national leader for spreading the words of Heavenly Parent and true parents. Thank you for making us feel and understand their heart. Thank you for our leaders, elders, and brothers and sisters for always giving us guidance and inspiration every day. I am so grateful that we are all safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for all the good health of our families, leaders, elders, brothers, and sisters. I am so grateful that despite the situation of COVID-19, we can still be able to support the Vision 2027 Providence. And I'm so grateful for our education department activities through virtual seminars. It makes possible to give lectures of divine principle and study through parents' words and guidance. And I am so grateful for my families, relatives, and friends for keeping me for supporting me and loving me for this providence that I'm for And thank you for Heavenly Parent for giving me chance every day to live and support the providence of our true parents despite all the struggles and trials. Thank you for making me realize my purpose. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Marivic Advincula, for your very wonderful 10 points of appreciation. Let's give her a virtual round of applause. And to give us a entertainment or to render us a musical offering, I would like to invite the presence of the National Education Assistant Director, Mr. Herlin Kalinawan. Wow! Thank you so much, Kuya Herwin, for your very gentle, soft and beautiful musical offering. And let's give him a virtual round of applause. And to proceed us on our main program of our National Morning Devotion, I would like to invite the presence of our Father in our Philippine Providence. Let not further ado, our national leader, Dr. Reverend Leo Angelo Halo. Let's give him a virtual round of applause.
Thank you very much, our brother JC. I would like to first greet our heavenly parents and true parents. Good morning, our heavenly parents and true parents. To all our beloved leaders, Chango families, Placenta families, and brothers and sisters, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Thank you very much to our Education Department family for hosting today's morning devotion. Thank you for that wonderful performance, our brother Herwin. Really very beautiful performance, very inspiring performance. Also, thank you so much to the 10 points of gratitude shared to us by our sister Mary Vic. So once again, welcome to all our beloved brothers and sisters for today's morning devotion. Today is our 16th day of the 5th 40-day National Morning Devotion. Thank you for joining every day. So today I will be sharing with you. So for a few days we are sharing also about the spiritual world and the cooperation of our ancestors. So also today I will going to share same topic about also our ancestors and the spiritual world. So today I will share this topic entitled "The Reason Spirits Return and Cooperate." So let us study together. True Father said, "The divided spiritual and physical worlds are united." You know about the heaven and earth blessing, do you not? Through it, the divided spiritual and physical worlds are united, and the people who are now in hell can be sought out and blessed. After you join the Unification Church, you have to rise above the level of the nation. Because your mission is on the global level, you can pull out and bless those who are in hell for crimes committed against a nation. You can carry out a liberation movement with your mother or your relatives or anyone on earth related to you by blood at the center. So already, actually, because of true parents, they have opened the way for spirits and physical beings to be blessed. So there's no the blessing is now have gone beyond the boundary of the physical world. So we are really is standing now in tremendous foundation that true parents have laid. They have opened all the doors for really the complete restoration not only of heaven but heaven and earth needs to come together. So now we are now doing that's why we have some brothers and sisters, some relatives who passed away. They passed away single, but because of this foundation that true parents have established, and they opened the way for all actually spirits to be blessed. So now heaven and earth can become one. So Father said, through this, so the divided spiritual and physical worlds are united. So, and the people who are now in hell can be sought out and blessed. So after you join the Unification Church, you have to rise above the level of the nation. So when we join our movement, it's not just only for our family. Even Father is saying we have to go above the nation. And then our mission is a global level, Father said. Right? So you can pull out and bless those who are in hell for crimes committed against a nation. So you can carry a liberation movement, liberating everyone together with our relatives, Father is saying. So when we imagine actually this foundation that true parents has, really we can see that really one day Heavenly Parents' dream can be realized. Talagang this is now beyond, physical world. They have opened everything. Kaya nga ngayon, we don't worry so much. Sometimes it's very difficult to restore yung mga, even our relatives in the physical world, right? But if we tried our best and then still they cannot, and then actually when they go to the spiritual world, then we can liberate them. We can liberate them. So ngayon wala nang barrier. Really now heaven and earth are one because of our true parents' tremendous foundation and sacrifice. They've opened all the doors, right, for the restoration of the entire heaven and earth. Kaya nga ngayon, parang iisa na talaga ang physical world and the spirit world because of the foundations that we are now standing because of true parents. So Father said, we should at least become leaders of our ancestors. Do you think I have bitter feelings now? I have laid my hands upon everything to which I was called. Now is the time for fighting. Having steered the invisible spirits to come down to earth, we must act as their leaders. Since we couldn't act as the leaders of this world, we should at least become the leaders of the people who have passed into the spirit world, the leaders of our ancestors, shouldn't we? Everyone is wishing for that. I have bestowed the blessing upon innumerable people from the religious realm and permitted the blessing of their sons and daughters and the blessing of the spirit world. I tell you, find your way to places where you have a connection of heart. Go and bless generations of people in your religious denomination, even without sleeping. Really, the biggest really mission that we have to do is really we have to really bless people continuously, right? So Father, sabi ni Father dito, I tell you, find your way to places where you have a connection of heart and then go and bless generations of people in your religious denomination even without sleeping. So not only in the physical world, even in the spiritual world, we have to continue to, to bless people. So Father is telling us na sabi ni Father, we have to become leaders. Maging leaders daw tayo at least of our ancestors. Even though sabi ni Father, we cannot become, the leaders of this world, but at least we have to become the leaders of our ancestors. So everyone is wishing for that. So actually, after we liberate our ancestors, we can, give them direction. We can give them direction. We can guide them. Like for example, 1 to 7 generations, we can really guide them and give them also specific missions and responsibilities, our ancestors. When we are praying, we can pray for that, right? So tayo talaga, actually, we are leaders of our ancestors. After we liberate them, after we bless them, we should be really naturally, lead them. Kaya nga, dapat lagi tayong aware after we liberate our ancestors. We have to be always aware that they are together with us. Lagi na natin silang kasama. So we have to really give them responsibility. From 1 to 7 generation, for example, what is their responsibility? You can give them, please, protect your children, ganito, protect your relative. They can, help you in many ways. And then whatever you say and, give order to them, they will going to follow, right? Our ancestors, they will really going to really absolutely do their best to fulfill. So tayo, we are really leaders of our ancestors. So we have to really guide them and really lead them and really have them really accomplish, and fulfill also what we desire. Right? Of course, alam na nila yon, but to really lead them well, that's very, very important. So we have to really stand as leaders of our ancestors. Father said we have erected fences of lamentation. The question is whether we have set the standard that will allow people in the spirit world, unknown to humankind, to mobilize and testify to us. The spirit world also demands such conditions. Since the spirit world knows God's heart, if people with that standard on the earth appeal to them, spirit people will mobilize to help with the work on earth that actualizes the ideal of the heavenly kingdom. So the reason spirit cannot come to earth is that we have erected fences of lamentation. So Father said that the spirit world knows God's heart, if people with that standard on the earth appeal to them, spirit people will mobilize to help with the work on earth that actualizes the ideal of the heavenly kingdom. Kaya sabi ni Father dito, already the spirit world knows God's heart. So kapag meron daw tao, if people with that standard on the earth appeal to them, so kapag meron daw tao that appealing to the spiritual world with the same standard of heart, naturally the spiritual world will come down. The spirit people will mobilize to help with the work on earth that actualizes the ideal of the heavenly kingdom. Kaya nga, how can we reach such a standard of heart? Really understanding and knowing God's heart. If we reach this level and then we appeal to the spiritual world, then spirit people will come down and they will mobilize to help with the work on earth that actualizes the ideal of heavenly kingdom. Kaya nga, this time we have to really understand that the work that we are doing, hindi lang tayo yung gumagawa nito. We cannot actually realize Heavenly Parents' dream if only us, the physical beings, are doing this work, right? Kaya nga, with the foundation that the parents have laid, now opening the way for the entire spiritual world, now, good spirits or the spiritual world can just come down easily now. Kaya nga, tayo raw, sabi ni Father, if we reach certain standard of knowing and understanding God's heart, and then we call the spiritual world, we call spirits, then naturally they will come down. And then they will really work and help in really realizing the ideal of the heavenly kingdom. But sabi ni Father dito, the reason the spirit cannot come to earth is that we have erected fences of lamentation. Actually, tayo rin kasi ang nag-create ng mga barriers. Right? Because of, lamentation. So we have erected fences, sabi ni Father. So that's why these are the things that blocks them from coming together and working together with us. So that's why unang-una we have to eliminate all these unnecessary things. Right? All these lamentations in our hearts. Lahat ng bagay na create natin, the fences that we have created because of this lamentation and mga other unnecessary feelings that we have because of these things. It created barrier for the spiritual world to be blocked, so they cannot come down. So unang-una, we have to eliminate this, right? All these lamentations, resentments, other things. So we have to really, go through a process of purification, right? We have to eliminate all these things, and then naturally the spiritual world will come down. Kaya sometimes when we evaluate, there are really a lot of difficulties sa buhay natin. Sometimes we are thinking, why until now? Ganito pa rin yung situation natin. So because of the fences that we have created on our own, tayo yung nag-create ng mga fences. That's why the spiritual world cannot cooperate. The spiritual world cannot come down and help us. So unang-una, we have to let go of all these things, right? We have to eliminate all these things. Clear up, eliminate these fences that really blocks the spiritual world to cooperate with us. And then we can see that really things will change, right? That's why, of course, we have to liberate yung ancestors natin. We have to liberate and bless them. And then naturally, slowly, things will become clear for us. And then really, they can naturally come down and cooperate with us. True Father said, they are of the same universal bloodline. All spirits in the heavenly world receive the blessing as elder siblings and ancestors, and they protect those on earth from all directions, east, west, north, and south. So those on earth can perfect the ideal family of the able realm. In other words, the entire spirit world returns to earth and cooperates with those on earth by protecting, nurturing, and accompanying them, so they can enter the heavenly kingdom in a satisfactory way. These spirits are blood relatives who possess the love, life, and lineage of God. They share the one unified heart that goes beyond the boundaries of village, nation, race, and religion. They are of the same universal bloodline. Their color is universal. So, these spirits, sabi ni Father, they share the one unified heart that goes beyond the boundaries of village, nation, race, and religion. They are of the same universal bloodline. So their color is universal. So, Father saying that all the spirits in the heavenly world that receive the blessing as elder siblings and ancestors, and they now protect those on earth from all directions. Actually, really everywhere, all these spirits that was blessed, they receive those who are on earth. Sabi ni Father, from every corners. So those on earth can perfect the ideal family of the evil realm. Kaya nga, once we especially liberate our ancestors, they will go and protect us all the way. And then this will become the foundation for us to perfect ideal family in the evil realm and really fulfill our responsibility. So in other words, sabi ni Father, the entire spirit world returns to earth and cooperates with those on earth by protecting, nurturing, and accompanying them so they can enter the heavenly kingdom in a satisfactory way. So that's why the only way for us to really become successful and victorious is through the cooperation of the spiritual world. Without the spiritual world cooperating with us, it's impossible for us to accomplish our responsibility to fulfill our mission. Kaya nga, sometimes we are really, even surprised. Sometimes we just did a little effort, we just put a little effort, and then we could accomplish, something great. This is beyond actually the work that we can do. This is already the work of the spiritual world. Kaya nga, miracles which are happening now sa buhay natin, so we can hear, testimonies. Marami tayong mga naririnig na testimonies, how much, amazing the spiritual world works, right? So, sabi ni Father, these spirits are blood relatives who possess the love, life, and lineage of God. So, once, spirits are liberated, we become, universal. They belong directly to the love, life, and lineage of Heavenly Parent, and then we share one unified heart. They goes beyond boundaries of village, nation, race, and religion. So they can, transcend everywhere. They are not bounded by, by a place, by nation, by even race or religion. They can work, in the universal way. They are of the same universal bloodline, so they can, go beyond. So ganun they don't have any boundary now. Spirits which are liberated, right? So they can work in a bigger scope without any boundary. So they can share. Sabi ni Father, we are sharing. We can share together, one unified heart that goes beyond the boundaries of village, nation, race, and religion. That's why they can work, everywhere. So whatever situations they can support and really help us to overcome and really be victorious. True Father said, in the spirit world, there are no such concepts as far and near. So in the spirit world, there are no such concepts as far and near. Since that world transcends time and space, no matter where your home is, it is in your field of vision. That is why spirits can help you at any time across any distance. In such a manner, spirits moving in the spirit world come down to earth frequently, following their network. Kaya in the spiritual world, there's no more concept, unlike on earth. Dito, sometimes we can see the concept of far and near. But in the spiritual world, there's no concept as such. Wala na doon yung malayo o malapit. Anytime, because they are, beyond time and space. It transcends, beyond time and space. So no matter where your home is, it is in your field of vision. Kaya nga, when we go to the spiritual world, kahit saan ka pa nakatira, how far, so, like for example, in the physical world, you can see or you consider these things, but in the spiritual world, no more, right? You can just, go there anytime. Spirits can, transcend anytime, any moment, right? So this is why spirits can help you at any time across any distance. So in such a manner, the spirits moving in the spirit world come down to earth frequently, following their network. Kaya nga, anytime actually when we call our ancestors, kaya nga, also, it's also important, sometimes when we are, praying, we call them, we ask their help, and then actually anytime they can come, they can really help. Of course, they know already our situation, but also especially when we ask them, when we call them, they can really help us anytime, any moment, wherever we are, right? Our ancestors are always, ready to support us in whatever situation, even how far we seems our place is. Anytime they can come and really support us. There's no more concept of far and near. in the spiritual world, our ancestors. So anytime they can really support us and really help us carry out our mission, our responsibility. Father said, thus the environment is naturally purified. As the number of spirits who come down to a village increases gradually and they start relieving one another, they can carry out a campaign to eradicate the evil spirits in that village. Thus the environment is naturally purified. They carry out that kind of campaign. They come down to earth and form connections centering on their relatives. When they return to the spirit world, their efforts become indemnity and form a proportional foundation for them to go to a better place. Therefore, even the spirit world will enter an era of competition. So, sometimes there are places na, we can feel very heavy ang spiritual environment doon. But sabi ni Father, as the number of spirits who come down to a village increases, but, how they change. Kaya nga, we learn, di ba? Also in the time of Daimonim, there are areas na very heavy. He is always going there and liberating those places. And then when he comes, billions of spirits are coming down. And then later on, the atmosphere in that place changes. So as spirits, as good spirits come, gradually the spirits, the spiritual atmosphere in that certain place will going to change. Like True Mother, she went to Gori Island, the place of slavery in the past, and then many places. So because as True Mother goes, together with True Mother is billions of absolute good spirits, right? So they come, they change the atmosphere. Kaya nga sabi ni Father dito, as the number of spirits come down to a village increases gradually and they start relieving one another, they can carry out a campaign to eradicate the evil spirits in that village. So as they come and then good spirits are increasing, they come down and, Father said, relieve one another. They can carry out a campaign to eradicate. They are eradicating evil spirits in that village. So thus the environment is naturally purified. They carry out that kind of campaign so they can, purify the environment. So they come down to earth and form connections centering on their relatives. So centering on their relatives. And then Father said when they return to the spirit world, their efforts become indemnity and form a proportional foundation for them to go to a better place. So because of their work also, on earth, that become their foundation. That become their like indemnity condition. And then when they go back, then they can be elevated and then they can go to a better place. So that's why also the spirits, they come, especially now, ngayong era na to. Even Father's mentioning na, I always say that even the evil spirits now. So if these spirits, they, come, cooperate, they do something good, and then when they go back to the spiritual world, they can be elevated into a better place. So therefore, even the spirit world will enter, sabi ni Father, an era of competition. So really, true parents have really opened everything, all the way to liberate not only physical beings, but even spirit beings. So that's why talagang we are now living in an imaginable era, an imaginable time, because of true parents have opened the way for the entire spiritual world, then not only the physical world. Kaya nga, and actually we don't need to worry so much if we are just doing our responsibility. The things that sometimes we think that it seems that very difficult to break through and overcome, if we just continue to fulfill our responsibility, for sure the entire spiritual world will really support us and come down, and no matter what, we can really overcome any situation. That's why we have to, unang-una, we have to believe. We have to believe, and we really have to, change already the way we are thinking now, our mindset, our understanding with the situation now, we have to really change, right? It's not just beyond, or it's not just within the capacity that we can do based on, our physical capacity, but we have to always consider the spiritual world, how we are working. We cannot see. So ngayon, we can only sometimes consider yung nakikita natin, but we don't know what's happening, right? In the spiritual world, beyond our physical senses, we don't know. Kaya nga, the only worry we need to have now is how can we fulfill our responsibility that is being asked from us. And then we don't need to worry about other things, right? And then naturally, if we reach certain level and standard, naturally, spiritual world will come down. And then they will going to help and cooperate with us. Aju? Father said, I am the one who must deploy them. So now the ancestors in the spirit world must be deployed to the earth. And who is the person who can deploy them? God cannot deploy them. To do so would violate the principle. I am the one who must deploy them. No matter where they were born, they are to return to their birthplace, their hometown. All will return. You enable your ancestors to rise above paradise and go to the kingdom of heaven by having them participate in blessing activities. This is logically correct. Do you know what virtuous people have lived in your hometown and passed on? You should surpass them. When we think that the spirits who died with sorrow and regret are returning to the earth, and that they are coming to where we live to cooperate with us and attend us as if we were their elder siblings and their rulers, we should become the best there is. So that's why, it is actually through father, through parents. Sabi ni Father, it's not God who deploys the spirits in the spiritual world. It is our true father, our true parents. So no matter where they were born, they are to return to their birthplace, their hometown. So all these spirits, they will going all to return to their birthplace, to their hometown. So Father said, you enable your ancestors to rise above paradise and go to the kingdom of heaven by having them participate in the blessing activities. So this is logically correct. So because of the blessing, our ancestors could rise above paradise. And they can later on go to the kingdom of heaven. Of course, now they cannot go yet, right? So, but now they already rise above the paradise already. They're ready to go to the kingdom of heaven. Later on, when we go to the kingdom of heaven together with our ancestors, they will come together with us, right? So now, after we liberate them, we bless them, our 430 generations, they are all now together with us, supporting us, working with us in doing our mission, right? And then, our Father said all other spirits, they will really go to their birthplace, to their hometown. And then it is through Father, through parents, that will going to deploy them. So that's why Father said we need to become the best there is, especially in in our places. We have to really really lead and guide these ancestors, these spirits. Sabi ni Father kanina, we have to become their leaders, right? So we should be the one that will going to guide them and lead them. So after true Father deploy them, right, they will going to really work together and be able to really complete what we need to fulfill and accomplish here on earth, right? So even though they rise above already paradise, but they cannot yet go to the kingdom of heaven until we go there later on, and then we go together with them, with our ancestors. So Father said we have to mobilize the spirit world. So we have to mobilize the spirit world. How can heaven be built without mobilizing the spirit world? It cannot. Heaven is supposed to begin from the true parents, not from the fallen descendants who have existed until now. Just as the angelic world helped when Adam was created, the spirit world should come down to earth and help at the time of recreation. Otherwise, it cannot be achieved. So how much we invest, even though how much we invest our effort, without the support of the spiritual world, sabi ni Father, heaven cannot be built. Heaven cannot be built. Kaya nga, all the things that is happening now, the advancement also of the providence, this is now because of the support of the spiritual world. So now, when True Father went to the spiritual world, right? We are all wondering before the declaration of Foundation Day. Father have worked so hard and then already set the date for the Foundation Day in 2013, and then suddenly before that day comes, True Father went to the spiritual world. But actually, we realized that actually Father needed to go there to really work and really prepare for the Foundation Day's declaration also. That's why we cannot imagine, the work now happening in the spiritual world. Sabi ni Father, when I go to the spiritual world, I will going to work 10 times more than, I have worked on earth. Kaya nga sabi ni Father dito, we have to mobilize the spiritual world. Without mobilizing the spiritual world, heaven cannot be built on earth. Kahit ano ang gawin natin na effort with our, just our physical, power, what we have, our effort, it cannot be done. Kingdom of heaven cannot be realized. Kaya nga ngayon, as how true mother is working on earth, together with our beloved true Father in the spiritual world, with Hojinnim, Hungjinnim, Damonim, and then billions of absolute good spirits now who are working. That's why tayo rin, in fulfilling our responsibility, our mission, we have to really mobilize the spiritual world. Father is saying that, one of our, best important point, kailangan natin gawin sa buhay natin is how can we mobilize the spiritual world. Without mobilizing the spiritual world, then we cannot really accomplish our responsibility. That's why it's really important. Father said, heaven is supposed to begin from the true parents, not from the fallen descendants who have existed until now. So that's why heaven should really begin from true parents, not from the fallen descendants. Sabi ni Father, just as the angelic world helped when Adam and Eve was created, the spirit world should come down to earth and help at the time of recreation. Kaya nga, with this work that we are doing, restoration until, recreation, without the support of the spiritual world, then this will not going to really be completed. It can never be achieved, sabi ni Father, without the support of the spiritual world. Kaya nga, ang importante sa atin ngayon, people who are living on earth, we have to be always aware. Lagi tayong dapat na aware. That's why, whatever we are doing, hindi lang tayo. And then yung mga nagagawa natin, na-accomplish natin not only us, but with the support of our ancestors, with the support of the spiritual world. Aju? Kaya nga, this is one of the most important thing na kailangan nating tandaan palagi, and then we need to be always aware as we are living our life on earth. Aju? These are the most important, things that true parents have brought on earth, the understanding in the spiritual world. So somehow, tayo naintindihan natin. So we are working now with the mind of, together with the spiritual world. Hindi lang tayo sa, based sa ating knowledge, based sa ating abilities, not only that, right? Because if only based on that, we are always limited. There are a lot of things that we cannot see. Many things can happen without really understanding this. Kaya napakahalaga sa atin, to really understand. And then, most important, we have to mobilize the spiritual world. Aju? That's why liberating and blessing our ancestors, how really important this is in our lifetime, right? So, ang binigay sa atin na mission, at least 430 generations, at least there, and then that will become the condition that all our ancestors, until Adam and Eve, can be liberated na. So, i-fulfill lang natin yung responsibility natin of liberating and blessing 430 generations. That's why without liberating them, without blessing them, we can always feel the heaviness of our life on earth. Kaya nga, unless we liberate our ancestors, we cannot be liberated with this heaviness in life on earth. And then, how can we mobilize and really help? How can our ancestors help us? Even how much we call them, if we didn't liberate them, if we didn't bless them. That's why first thing is, we have to liberate and bless our ancestors. Aju, and then they will surely, come down and work with us, and then things can be accomplished. Aju. That's why anyway, for a few days, True Parents is really teaching us and really guiding us and really reminding us about the importance of the spiritual world, liberating our ancestors, mobilizing the spiritual world. So this is truly, really important, right? That's why now, both, heaven and earth, or spiritual world and physical world, are one because of our beloved true parents. True Father now is leading the spiritual world, and then True Mother on earth, right? So that's why this era, first time to happen, right? So that's why everything can be accomplished during this time. So tayo ngayon, we just need to really strive to fulfill our responsibility and unite completely with our beloved true parents. So no matter what, right? We have to really put our effort and really invest everything to be able to really liberate yung ancestors natin and bless them, and really work together with our true parents, and then for sure we can really realize heaven on earth, Aju, and really fulfill Heavenly Parents' expectation. So once again, let's really appreciate our Heavenly Parents and true parents for their continuous guidance, especially with having clear understanding about the spiritual world, and then how our ancestors or the spiritual world is really working, especially in this most precious time. So once again, let's really appreciate our Heavenly Parents and true parents for this great guidance. So once again, thank you, beloved brothers and sisters. May Heavenly Parents' love and blessings be always upon you and your families. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, our Dr. Reverend Leo Angelo Halog. So as we have to express our appreciation to our Heavenly Parent and true parents, let's give our Heavenly Parent and true parents and our national leader a virtual round of applause. And then I would like to share some insight na kung saan we have to mobilize the spirit world. So we have to mobilize them as God created the universe with the angelic world. So in the providence of recreation, so we must mobilize the spirit world. We must invite always the presence of our ancestors, the absolute good spirit, to cooperate in the works of salvation, in the works of restoration here on earth. So thank you so much. And before I will call the person who will share his reflection. Is there anyone in Zoom who wants to volunteer? Okay. Kung wala po, I will call the I would like to invite the BFD education staff to share his reflection, none other than Dr. Rahim Mir Shahi with virtual round of applause.
Good morning, Heavenly Parents and our beloved true parents of heaven and earth and humankind, to our beloved national leader, to all the Chombo couples and blessed families, and all the members that are joining today. This is my honor to share with you my own experience about ancestor liberation. Maybe it can give some inspiration to especially the young people who joined new to know the importance of ancestor liberation, actually. When it was actually 2003 that I was reading the demonium's messages coming from the spirit world through the in Champyong, and she was always emphasizing about how important is ancestor liberation, and if we don't liberate our ancestors from their agony, if we don't liberate them from their suffering and sins, they have no choice but to make problems and difficulties in our life to warn us, to remind us what is our responsibility. So we know all that we joined this movement because of the help of our ancestors. So if our ancestors did not supported us, we wouldn't be able actually to be part of this movement. So they help us to join for very, very important reason, and that was actually to liberate them from their sins, because they have no physical body, so they cannot do anything to liberate themselves from their sins, from their difficulties that they have had actually over the years. So when I was reading actually those letters coming from demonium, then I was so desperate. I said that this is so important. I have to, anything else I'm doing in my life, if I cannot liberate my ancestors, it's in vain. Because this is the main important reason that I have been helped to come. So I was so desperate. I was even desperately praying and crying that how can I fulfill and liberate my ancestors? And then I had a very clear vision. I had a dream. I never had in my life such a clear vision and dream. I had many dreams, but that was the most clear vision that I had. I had a dream that I flew to the sky, and then I went to a place, and there was like a stadium, Colosseum, and I was at the top of that Colosseum and the stadium, and I saw my ancestors, and they are begging, raising their hand, please liberate me first, please liberate me first. And they were there. I could see all of them, their faces. Their faces was like farmer type ancestors, and then their face was like burned from the sun because of working in the sun. So I was so surprised that why the spirit world at this time giving me this such kind of vision. And then exactly after that, you know, at that time it was not like easy like this time that you can do it in your own country, even though you don't go to Changpyeong. That time you should have gone to Changpyeong physically and be present there, then you could liberate your ancestors. So I had to go to Korea at that time, and it was so difficult. Visa, everything, with that kind of situation that I was, it was looks like very impossible work. But I never give up. And then I was thinking about it and praying about it, and suddenly everything opened, and the opportunity came exactly after a few months after that dream that I had. And because of my desperation, and I was able to go miraculously to Korea in Changpyeong. I had the enough money for the liberation of my first 7 ancestors. And that was exactly that my brother, that elder brother that was married, they couldn't have children for more than 8 years. They have tried many things. And I had a dream that something is wrong, spiritually is wrong. And they testified later to me that exactly the same time that I was in Changpyeong and liberating our ancestors, they were able to have their first child. So this was a miracle. I understood that how is important the ancestor liberation. And then after that, I always prioritize ancestor liberation. Didn't have even enough food to eat, didn't have even financial difficulty, but I always put ancestor liberation in the priority and in the first place. And I always say, you know, because I sometimes talking to some members, especially younger members that they have joined, and I tell them, you know, you have joined because of your ancestors. And if we don't do anything for them, if we don't liberate them from their sins, they will create problems and difficulties in our life, because they have no choice. They want to warn us. They want to give a signal why we are not doing our responsibility. So I sometimes hear that some people says that I don't have money, or I don't have, you know, I'm in a difficulty, I can't do it. So I'm a very good example of that. If even in the most difficult situation, it's possible, because we should not block our mind from the things that we don't have. The only thing that we have to focus, the desire, the passionate desire. I want to liberate my ancestors from their suffering and sin. That's why I am here. And the rest of the things will be prepared, actually will be held. But of course, you need to sacrifice. We need to sacrifice our own comfortable life. We need to sacrifice many of the things, like, for example, we are spending for going out or that kind of thing. We need to cut it. We need to show. Sometimes liberation of the ancestors is in the difficult situation, because we need to offer some sacrifice that we can liberate them. Without sacrifice, we cannot do that. That's why sometimes it's difficult. Why? Because we have to do it in a sacrificial way. that we appreciate what we have done, and they appreciate. They will say that my descendants, they gave up everything for us. They gave up their happiness for us. They gave up their outgoing for us. They cut their expenses because of us. So they will more appreciate us when we do it in the most difficult situation. If we have enough money and then everything is comfortable, so doing liberation is very easy for everybody. But if we are in the difficulty and still we do it, you know, they will be 10 times more grateful to us. 10 times more they will help us. And I have experienced that those members that they are, for example, for many years in the movement, and they have not liberated their ancestors, they did not care about their situation of their ancestors, they have many difficulties. Many things are happening to block their way. That it's kind of sign that I'm not doing my responsibility well. That's why this kind of things are happening. This kind of difficulties are happening. So it's very important, my brothers and sisters. I hope that especially the young members that they join, put them in their top priority. If we are here in the movement for many years, we have not liberated our ancestors, it's kind of we have not done our responsibility. It doesn't matter how many years we have been in the movement. If we have not liberated our ancestors, we have not completed our responsibility fully. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters, for today joining and listening to my sharing. I hope that can give some inspiration to you to be encouraged also to do the same. Thank you very much. God bless everybody.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rahim, for your very wonderful and amazing reflection based on your personal life experience. And then the thing that I learned and realized is ancestors' liberation must be priority, and then without sacrifice, we cannot liberate our ancestors. And before to proceed in our news and announcement, there's one who raised his hand to share his reflection. So let us welcome, without further ado, Mr. Elisar Gapol.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone, especially to our national leader, Leo Angelo Halog, the Reverend Dr. Leo Angelo Halog, and all of the blessed families who are here in the platform. So I'm just very inspired by the message of our national leader, especially on the point that nothing really is impossible as of this time, as Heavenly True Father have blessed, conducted the heaven and earth blessing. Me as the blessed family here in Calawit, Zamboanga del Norte, serving in the Department of Education as district supervisor. But before that, I find it hard to really, how I studied how really to witness to my teachers, co-teachers, the teachers under me. I have 142 teachers as of this time, with 12 school principals. So that is really my plan, how to really educate them and witness to them without that they cannot say that si sir naman nasa DepEd tayo tapos ngayon nag-i-inject ng kung ano-anong values, kung anong ganito, because really people are not open. But really the spirit world is very open, as the message of our national leader says, nothing is impossible as of this time. Just yesterday, I have conducted a 3-hour lecture after our district conference with the school principals. I have a selected couple, 4 couples, and 2 individuals without a partner. One of them are the school principal of the central schools where I was assigned, and the wife, which is a master teacher. So my plan is to really make them its core member of HTM and our place, especially in DepEd, the Department of Education. So happily, the response was so nice. I lectured them the 5 principles of peace and then purpose of life, and then I go directly to chapter 2 or the fall, and they were amazed of the revelation brought about by the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, Dr. San Myung Moon and Hak Jahan Moon, the fall, which opened their mind, really not eating the fruit outside of marriage. So they were really amazed. In summary, it turned out really to be good. So now I have a plan. We will have today, this morning, I am going to a district conference again with wider member participants, about 60 participants, again with the principals. So I am planning to have a team building, a planned team building, which will be first administered to all school principals with their husbands and wives. So they are 12, so it will be 24 of them. And I am about to schedule it next week, maybe Saturday, as a team building again, to set the mindset of our district office of the group into one, looking for peace in every organization, in every schools that they are assigned. So I am planning to conduct to them. I will be the one to conduct to them the lecture again, 3-hour lecture. With that lectures that I have been lecturing to them at New Calamba Central School, Calawit District, Zamboanga del Norte. I am planning that I will have to find a place in a beach wherein we can have our, in the guise of team building. After that, we will have bonding, and then shall we say, a blessing. The blessing happening after the lecture. I am telling them of the blessing which has the condition for today, and all of the privileges, the blessings that will happen. Evidence really have helped me so much. Just a simple teacher in the DepEd, and then when I took the exam, I passed the exam on the principal's test, and then all really blessing really did come to me after the blessing. I am a PMC, previously married couple, but I have 2 blessed child now, no, and 2 Jacob child. So really blessing did come to me after 5 years, after the blessing, my blessing after 5 years. I passed the exam in NIAP, or the principal's exam, top 6 in our region out of 103 passers. And then I've given a principal C in a central school, and then after 2 years I've been promoted as supervisor. Really, I am amazed of the blessing that true parents gave to me. That is why now, just as I am taking a bath, it popped up into my mind that I really would have to make a plan to have a team building, in the guise of a team building, to my co-administrators, school administrators, but I will lecture them the 5 principles of peace, the purpose of life, and the chapter 2, the fall. And then along the way, if they will be, and my core member, it's TM in our place, hopefully, nothing is impossible, as national leader says. I will, they will be the people whom I will be nurturing. So I am reflecting today to announce this officially to our national leader and all of the blessed central families that we are taking deep root now in DepEd, Calawit, Zamboanga del Norte. So with the help of my national leader, Ate Elsa Laino Katbay, and my spiritual parent, Kuya Samson Ramiso, Pastor Samson Ramiso, and Ate Virgie, even the recognition of my also spiritual parent, Kuya Paul Oba, who once was there in Zamboanga del Norte, who nurtured me also. So with that, this is not possible. This is now possible with them. So I'm very inspired. I'm very inspired always, as every day YouTube live, naka-loudspeaker ito sa namin, sa speaker ng halos mga kapitbahay namin nagpapakinig sa morning hundokay or morning devotion. So I'm very inspired again. So that is why what my heart is full now, I have speak it, my mouth speak it. So that is my plan. So thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity, and I am happy to see all Blessed Central families on the platform and on YouTube. My wife also is monitoring on YouTube. So thank you so much, and God bless everyone. Manse, Aju.
Wow. Thank you so much for Mr. Gapol for your very inspiring plans and activities to contribute for the advancement of our providence. And before we proceed on the closing prayer, I would like to invite our HQ staff to some news and announcement.
Thank you so much. Good morning to all our leaders, brothers, and sisters for our news and announcement and some reminders about our upcoming events. First, this Sunday, we will be having the celebration for the 31st Chill Il Jol and 25th Chill Pal Jol. We would like to ask all church centers to please prepare for the holiday offering table. And we would like also to remind everyone about the special donation for the events celebrating the 9th anniversary of the Holy Ascension of our true Father, Sun Myung Moon, the true parent of heaven, earth, and humankind. For the deadline of donation, it's on August 24, 2021. This is all for all blessed families and members. For each family, at least $210, and for single adults, at least $120. And today also is the last day of the registration for Ancestors Liberation and Blessing for the 2021 Summer Yojong Chonbo Great Works, commemorating the 9th anniversary of the Holy Ascension of our true Father. The event date is on August 21 and 22, 2021. So to register, please email us at hjcbfields@gmail.com. And for the workshop participation registration for group and individuals, the registration is until this Sunday, August 8th. Then today also is the last day of registration for the Level 1 Blessing Workshop on tomorrow, Saturday, August 7, 2021, 9 a.m. to 12 noon Philippine time for blessed children 13 years old and above. So there is also a registration fee of 100 pesos. Please contact Kuya Victor Rabanyo to register and for more information. And also the 2021 Yojong Chonbo Asia Pacific Special Online Event. This will be on August 14, 2021, and the registration deadline is changed to August 9, 2021. So to register, please email us at hjcbfields@gmail.com. For those who will apply for Ancestors Liberation and Blessing, the registration fee is $15. And for those who wants to attend or participate in the workshop and HG offering paper, the registration fee is 120 pesos for 13 years old and above, and 40 pesos for 0 to 12 years old. And the Sunwa International Academy is still have their enrollment ongoing. So for those who have their vaccination, COVID-19 vaccination, you have 5 discount on tuition fee for enrollees with vaccinated parents. This is valid until August 14, 2021 only. Just present your COVID-19 vaccination card upon enrollment. And also, there is also a voucher program guarantee for senior high school. Yes, you can check the for more information, please check their Facebook page, Sunwa International Academy Philippines. And also, the soft opening for online classes for academic year 2021-2022 on August 16, 2021. So for qualified members can enroll their children through the Sunwa education program and can avail of discounted miscellaneous and tuition fees. For enrollment procedures, please visit SHIA official Facebook page at Sunwa International Academy Philippines, or you may call at 8986-3550. That's all for our news and announcement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ate Ed, for some news and announcement. And now we will proceed on the closing prayer. And let us welcome the wife of our National Director and the mother figure of National Education Department, none other than Mrs. Rona Realin.
Brothers and sisters, please join me in my prayer. O most loving Heavenly Parent and glorious true parents of heaven and earth and humankind, thank you once again for this opportunity in this day that we gathered here again as one family, together with our leaders, elders, brothers, and sisters. Thank you again for the precious message, another inspiration from you through our national leader. We are grateful for the education about the spirit world. Thank you again for enlightening us and reminding us always. We are so sorry for our shortcomings, fallen natures. I pray for the whole world. May you protect us from viruses, especially for those who are affected by this pandemic. I would like to pray for their quick recovery. For those who suffered in pain, sickness, and other illnesses, let them be healed. Heavenly Parent, I pray for our good ancestors in the spirit world to really protect us, especially our true Mother Self. Protect us, our leaders, brothers, and sisters, especially in the front line, doing their missions every day. Protect them from any satanic invasion and temptation. Once again, Heavenly Parent, thank you so much, Heavenly Parent and True Parent. I would like to pray this in our name, Rona and Ariel Realin, Blessed Central Family. This I pray. Adieu.
Thank you so much, Mother Rona, for your heartfelt prayer. And we will have now a unison prayer. Joe. And let's give our final morning greetings for our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. Good morning and thank you, our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. Thank you so much, our brothers and sisters who joining here in our national morning devotion. And let's see you again tomorrow for our national morning devotion. And once again, I am your host, Giancarlo Nicolas, National Education Staff from Education Department. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Salamat po.
Thank you so much, Brother JC. Thank you so much, Education Department. Thank you.
Bye. Good morning.
Morning, boss.
Thank you, our national leader. Thank you, brothers and sisters,
Thank you,
for
Enel,
attending
for
our
the
morning
message.
devotion.
Happy
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good morning.
Morning,
Morning, Julie.
Have a nice day.